All right, folks, we are back. We got Maria, Marv, and more on the line, 866-582-9933. We're going to go to them in just a moment, but we were talking a little bit of MySpace. Let's get into the Facebook. David Fincher in talks for Facebook pick. For those not aware of David Fincher's work, he is the genius who is behind such films as Fight Club. He didn't write it. Chuck Calhoun did. Amazing novel. In my opinion, that's one of the few movies out there that's really on par with the book. Like, it shows you and it makes you feel the same things, if not more, that were in the book. And the way this guy did this, I mean, he is just an amazing director, in my opinion. I may not like everything he did. The Game isn't that great. But he has done some really... He did Panic Room, and for a movie that takes place in one building for, like, the entire film, it is compelling. And David Fincher in talks for Facebook pick. David Fincher, the Oscar-nominated director of The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. Button was okay. Is in early talks to... He did 7, folks. How awesome was 7? Logs on to an untitled movie and the founders of popular social networking site Facebook. If a deal can be worked out, Fincher could be behind the camera by the end of the year. Aaron Sorkin, The West Wing, is writing the Columbia Pictures project. Fincher came close to directing the period Elliot Ness serial killer movie Torso, but Paramount allowed the project's option to lapse. He still has the adaptation of the graphic novel Black Hole set up at the studio. So Black Hole may be one of the new things. Hey, Fincher's great. I would love to see his take on Facebook. I bet you it's a lot darker than you would be expecting. Let's go to one more news article, then we'll hit the phone lines. China and U.S. head for trade war. This one's out of The Guardian. Checking aluminum cans in Texas, China has put restrictions on exports of the aluminum or bauxite, as well as zinc and magnesium, photograph Gary Gladstone. Europe and the United States announced last night coordinated action against China for busting World Trade Organization rules by restricting exports of essential raw materials, raising fears of a damaging East-West trade war in depths of a global recession. And Tarpley's one of those guys that has come out and said, hey, the next conflict, the next worldwide conflict, is a conflict in which Russia and China are the simultaneous enemies. And to me, that seems to be coming true more and more every day. If you want to read the whole article up at The Guardian right now. All right, let's go to Marv in Wisconsin. Marv, you're on the line.
Hi, Jason. How are you?
Good.
Yeah, longtime follower of Alex and love your show.
Oh, thank you.
Yep, I do disagree with one thing, and Alex did make a statement one time if they declare martial law. He said them helicopters have to land, and I disagree with you. I think them drones have to land, too. They have to be refueled and rearmed, and human beings still have to do that.
Well, on some level, you're correct, but let me correct you. The blimps, the solar-powered blimps now can do... Jaron, you remember that story? What was it, 2 weeks easy in the air at 30,000 feet? Was it 2 weeks? Let me see. I'm getting the head nod. It was at least 2 weeks. So, all right. Let's say there's some pocket insurgencies. Yeah, but they're in the air as the attacks goes. These are operational drones at 30,000 feet that don't have to be refueled by human beings for 2-week periods. Can insurgents stay alive for 2 weeks of drone attacks, my man? And there's always going to be people willing, and that's the declassified stuff. Can you imagine the stuff that's classified out there? Go ahead. I'm going to let you make your point, man, because obviously you disagree on that. Hey, that's understandable. I may not be 100% right. I just don't want to see it come to that, and I really don't know what the odds of victory are if we take that route. Go ahead.
I understand that, but the Predator drones actually can only stay up a day or two.
That's true.
And they have to be refueled and rearmed by human beings. And if you find out where that operator is, that drone don't work anymore either.
That's very true, but it's going to be tough to get to those operators if they're 150 feet underground at the Denver National Airport or some other secure location. I thank you for the call, sir. Let's go to Maria in California. Maria, you're online.
Hey, Bermas. I have two things for you. A request for a guest. Could you get Joel Owens or Scoggins? He writes a book about World War III and how the globalists are going to take out the army.
Okay, well, check out, send me his info over in my Facebook or my MySpace, and I'll see what I can do.
Okay, another thing is I recently found out, at least for those people listening from California, that the second you fill out a USPS form, all the information goes out to your employers, to corporations, to your credit card holders, and the state that you do taxes with. So that incorporates corporate and government. I just found out about that when I changed my address recently. So.
Yeah, not a shocker. I mean, even today when I was in the DMV trying to get a Texas license, there were all sorts of hoops that I had to go through. And, you know, they are openly sharing our information. They have database systems. The problem is for them, they're not as integrated as they'd like them to be, so there are a lot of snafus. And that's why they're really setting up this cybersecurity command center in the Pentagon right now, and cybersecurity oversight, and a coordinator, and an office, so that everything can be integrated and homogenized into this smart grid where everything we do is track, trace, and database, not just on your cell phone and on your computer, but literally your entire life. That is the new system. Maria, I thank you for the call. Charles in California, you're on the line.
Yo, Jameis.
Yo.
Yeah, you mentioned the Denver airport. That thing is that's like a Nazi base right there for sure.
I mean, who knows what's underneath the ground, but there are all these little installations, and it is super creepy when you go inside. Lots of Masonic symbolism, lots of demonic symbolism. Well, not only the swastika, but let's talk about the murals on the wall with dead children and women, while Nazis in gas masks have swords killing doves in peace, and it all amalgamates after this large culling of the masses into what seems to be a very new world order where all ethnicities and all races get together under one guise. No, that is freedom. You know, it's only going to take 4 or 5 billion of us to die for the true freedom to emerge of this global consciousness, of this new world order. We should all be loving it. I mean, it's happening in California right now as California collapses.
You need some corn syrup, man. You definitely need.
You know what? It tastes so good. I think that what I need is to get one of those like beer helmets and just fill it up with high fructose corn syrup. Forget about Coke cans, forget about soda, just the straight up corn syrup, and I can latch it into my mouth. You know what? I like to talk a lot, so instead of just putting it into my mouth, maybe I'll just cut a hole, like a very, very fashionable hole in the side of my cheek, so it can just constantly funnel down into my tongue, into my throat, and I can become more and more docile as tasty syrup drips down my mouth, and then I can continue doing the radio show and still be maintained of what they want me to be in 1984, this docile zombie. Yo.
I mean, honestly, dude, like, I try not to be negative about this stuff, like our chances and everything, but, like, forget about the drones and everything, the mercury and the fluoride and all that. I think that's, like, already, and just the total demoralization of America. Like, I don't know if you ever saw that, I forget what it's called, but it was an interview that G. Edward Griffin made with an ex-KGB agent.
Okay, I don't think I have seen that one. No, but I'm getting G. Edward Griffin in the film Invisible Empire. We're going to be doing an interview with him next month, really to talk about the roundtable groups and the false left-right paradigm.
Okay, well, this is an interview done in maybe like 1984, around there, 85. And this ex-KGB agent was talking about how, like, he was talking about the KGB process of, like, demoralizing a nation, and it takes, like, 15 years, because that's, like, that's what it takes to get the whole generation, re-educated and all that. And he said, he said it was already complete in America in 85, and that we were, like, in big trouble, and that the number one thing is informing each other. Like, that's what he was talking about. But anyways, he said the main tragedy of demoralization is you could show them all the facts. You could show the person all the documents, everything. You could even forcibly take them to a Soviet concentration camp, and they still won't believe you until they get, like, the military boot, and it hits them.
Well,
that's what he was saying.
Look, we've been dehumanized on an enormous level in this country and around the world, and often we sit there, and I think at some points we make it too late. I mean, let's bring the drones back into the equation. No one's talking about these drone deaths. Nobody. You know why? Because people in the United States aren't being killed by drones yet. So, again, it's that scenario. It's happening somewhere far away. It's never going to reach here. Oh, it's going to reach here. Those are the beta test
one other
areas.
Thing is, we were talking about civil disobedience, so that's like terrorism. Isn't it funny how when they were doing that drill that Alex Jones covered in '99, Operation Urban Warrior, they were saying on the loudspeakers, civil disobedience will not be tolerated. Attention, attention, attention. That's what they were saying.
Yeah.
Civil disobedience will not be tolerated.
Yeah, while they have a bunch of mock actors, and I thank you for the call behind barbed wire that they're just treating like total filth, trying to say that I have a Constitution and Bill of Rights. No, you don't! Shut up! You have no Constitution. Shut up, boy! Get behind the fence. Put your hands behind your back. Get into the FEMA camp. And civil disobedience won't be tolerated, and they'll roll right up on you, Nazi Germany style. I guarantee it. Someone's going to put a bullet in someone's head right in front of a group of people and say, hey, you want to be next? Oh, you don't? Get on the truck. Roll up your sleeve. Get ready for your internment camp.